Today's podcast is brought to you by Anchor. And if you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, let me tell you, it is the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcast, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. So download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. I can't wait to hear what you create. You are listening to the award-winning Welcome to Your Life, Midlife Made Easier podcast. I am your host, certified empowerment coach and yoga teacher, Renee. WTYL is a lifestyle podcast for successful midlife women who feel burnt out from putting everyone else first and who wake up thinking there has to be more to life than this. My mission is to help you increase your self-confidence, self-love, and self-care so that you can reclaim your time, your energy, and live your life without frustration, anger, or overwhelm. If that sounds good, then let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's show. So today we're talking about how to create and live a balanced life. I know that can be difficult considering the times we live in now, but I am hoping that today's show will give you some insight into how you can accomplish this. Now, if you can, listen with a pen and a piece of paper close by, as I will be asking you to answer some reflective questions to determine just how balanced your life is right now. Now, before we get started, I want to invite you guys to download my brand new journal, the Best Self-Care Journal. This journal I created to help you to start the healing process for your body and soul through self-care and mindfulness. This journal is completely free and you can download your copy by clicking the link in the show notes. Now, why am I talking about living a balanced life? Like I said, because most of us don't. We spend so much time in reactive and overwhelm mode. We try to compartmentalize the various areas of our lives because we want to ensure that everything has its own place. Our relationships, careers, money, exercise, and health. But we all know that our whole lives will be affected if just one area is out of whack. I want you to imagine, and maybe you're already there. Maybe, this is where you are right now. But imagine having tons of money, the house that you want, the career that you want. You are the Instagram feed that other people envy. But you're not able to enjoy it because your health is failing. And this is not an exaggeration. I had my dream job. And I could not enjoy it because I was 30 pounds overweight and trying to reverse my prediabetes and prehypertension. So when a part of your life is not in line with your goals and aspirations, when you are out of step, you begin to enjoy your life less and less. And you struggle to get back on track. I know that firsthand, that struggle, and it is unpleasant and overwhelming and hard. And so that is why I'm talking today about really consciously and mindfully working to live a life that is in balance. I think that it is crucial that we think of our lives as this holistic pie, and we can take this pie and decide to put our energy into making every piece of it as yummy as possible. Forgive the pie reference, but I am giving up sweets for Lent, and my mind is just starting to realize that that's what we're doing. But what would creating a life that is balanced and enjoyable look like? What would it look like for you not to hear the alarm and then dread getting out of bed? The first step in creating this life that we want to live is to take a real and honest look at the life we have right now. So many times we let fear of change stop us from making moves in our lives that we know that we need to make. And fear of change is real. It can be the number one reason that we stay stuck in an unhealthy and unhappy lifestyle. We convince ourselves that it's easier to keep the familiar mess that we know rather than finding the creativity and energy to make the changes we need to make ourselves happy. Or we're looking outside of ourselves for happiness, for balance, for love, for acceptance. And whenever we look outside of ourselves for any of those things, we are going to be disappointed. My job as a coach is to help you to begin the process of imagining what your life would be like if you gathered the courage that I know you have and made the necessary changes you need to make to create the life you want. Now, before you ask, yes, you can have a happy and balanced life, because this is not something that's just available for the lucky people or the blessed people. It is available to anyone who has the courage to make the necessary changes. So now, this is where your pen and paper will come in handy. The self-reflective questions that I'm about to ask will help you decide if you need to make changes in your life. Could be your life is completely out of whack and you need to make a ton of changes, or your life could just be a little bit out of balance and you just need to set a few things straight. Wherever you are on the spectrum of unbalance, answer these questions to find out what you need to do to get back in sync. So the first question is, are you getting things done on your own but could use some support? Do you want to build a healthier relationship with food? Do you eat when you are bored, angry, sad, or stressed out? Do you want to develop a deeper connection to yourself and others? Do you want to be empowered to be your own health expert? Do you want more confidence, energy, and self-acceptance? Do you want to be held accountable to show up for yourself? Are you looking outside of yourself for love, support, and acceptance? Now, if you have to rewind the podcast to answer these questions, by all means do so. You can also find them in our blog post for today over on the website midlifemadeeasier.com. But I want you to take the time to answer these questions, because this is the first step towards reducing your stress and healing your emotional health. Once you have answered the questions, I want you to use your answers to create a plan that will help you to begin nurturing yourself. This is something we cannot turn over to the hands of others. And as women, especially women in midlife, this is what we have been taught to do. To put everyone else's needs above our own. And then hope that they see the sacrifices that we are making and applaud those sacrifices. But most times they don't. And that leaves us feeling angry and unappreciated. So I want you to start appreciating yourself. The other thing is that, and I'm talking to all my romantics out there, believe me, I know how you feel. I just spent the whole day watching Hallmark movies and saying to myself, if only my husband would be like the characters in these movies, I would feel fantastic and our marriage would be excellent. But they're movies, right? We have to start nurturing ourselves. That is where the healing begins. And this is where we start to teach others how we want to be treated. So your next step after in your plan is to start to create your priorities. Remember I said, we want to stop waking up in the morning dreading the start of our day. So many times we hear the alarm going off on our phones and we want to toss the phone on the other side of the room and pull the covers over our heads and just forget that the day exists. But prioritizing your life will help you to reduce the overwhelm and focus on items in your day that you really want to focus on. It will also help you to learn how to say no. Too many times we don't say no. And so we end up doing things we don't want to do because we are trying to please someone else and make their lives easier. When you prioritize your life with the things you want to do, with the things that are important to you, saying no becomes easier, because unless that new thing fits into your prioritized list, you can't do it. Now, I know that some days it's impossible to find balance, but that cannot be our daily existence. It could be years since you have had a life that appeared to be in a healthy balance. But that does not mean that you have to continue to live that way. As a matter of fact, you cannot continue to live that way if you want to heal emotionally and physically and mentally. It's time for us to start taking care of those parts of us that make us who we are and provide us with a strong foundation so that we can move forward on the goals and the dreams that we've set for ourselves. The last thing that I want to say, ladies, is that it is time for you to embrace and create the best life you can right now. We've all heard the saying that tomorrow is not promised. And I want you to know that you can decide where to put your energies each day and make the life you want to live so that you do not get stuck living the life you have. Learn, connect, heal, and grow. Ladies, are you looking for a group of midlife women who are ready to support you, love you, and give you a little kick in the pants when you need it? Then join the Welcome to Your Life Midlife Made Easier Facebook group. Inside of this free group, you'll find additional trainings and resources from me, get your questions answered, and socialize with other midlife women on this crazy journey called life. Inside of the group, we turn midlife crisis into midlife triumph. Click the link in the show notes or head over to the Welcome to Your Life Midlife Made Easier Facebook page. Click on group and answer the 3 questions so you can join today. See you on the inside.